Ciao.
Punchlines to jokes lined up so that when we come back into a segment, it can be like we said something. And I would say something like, now the nun's a ventriloquist, and then you'd laugh. Exactly. See, there you go. And I'd say, Adam Christianson here with us, everybody. Adam Christianson, he of the MacCast, online at MacCast.com. Also available wherever you get podcasts, though I will not say any of those places because they all have user agreements where if you say the name of one, you got to say them all. So wherever you get podcasts there, you will find the MacCast. Or, of course, you can also follow him on Twitter. Huh?
Is that true?
Dude,
so you just messed with me.
I signed up for Ghana recently. And see, here's the thing. I feel fine saying Ghana out loud. That's a podcast aggregator that's apparently targeting India, which I feel like would be a good place for Apple Podcasts to be in the years to come. But if you read their terms of service, if you mention any podcast aggregator or, anybody else, well, now I can talk about anyone I want to because I've said Ghana. But like if I said, he's on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get podcasts, if I don't say Ghana in there, then Ghana might go ahead and kick me out for not mentioning them.
Wow.
Which I doubt they're listening, but just in case, I kind of now just want to say wherever you get podcasts. And if somebody says, well, I wonder if it's on Ghana. Well, sure. There it is right there.
On all of them.
It's on all of them. Yeah. So that kind of thing. I got to see really quickly before we get into today's game. As people hear this, it's Friday. As people hear this, it's like a week and a day since Thanksgiving. I had a weird thing happen Sunday, which, funny enough, is when we're recording, of wondering if I still remember anything about talking about Apple stuff. Because I took 3 days off, which is pretty much more days off in a row than I've taken. I can't remember the last time I had 3 full days off in a row.
Yeah, years probably.
It's been a bit. Yeah, it might have been last Christmas, honestly. So all of which is to say, thank you very much for joining me, sir. Thank you very much for getting me back into the swing. And now your good deed will go punished because it is time to play Wheel of Stuff. Adam Christianson reminded me he was actually the first guy to play Wheel of Stuff. Not just first guy, first person. Guy or gal. He was the first one to play the Wheel of Stuff. I've changed some of the questions. I don't remember what your questions were the last time you were on. Hopefully, we will not double up.
They were hard, and I was not very good at answering them, but let's do it.
Well, it's going to be more of the same then. Are you ready, sir, for question number 1?
We'll try.
I also forgot to play with the sensitivity on the wheel. You're going to hate me. Animal, vegetable, or mineral?
Mineral.
Why?
Because it's a cool word.
All right. Honestly, that's, I thought about leaving that question off there. I'm curious, honestly, why you chose that one. Because if you said to me animal, vegetable, or mineral, I would have chosen animal because I have an affinity for animals. And I might talk about dogs at that point, or I might talk about what animal I would want to be. It's really hard that when you say mineral, you've actually chosen the one with the least human connection.
Exactly.
For me, anyway.
Part of the reason why I wanted to pick it was because it seemed like the least likely to be picked.
There you go.
Honestly.
All right. That's a good reason. Any others?
Apple silicon?
This, by the way, okay, see, that's fine. Yeah, this, by the way, is what I always hoped Wheel of Stuff would be. That the questions would be so non sequitur that we get to it and be like, well, I don't know what to do with that. What's your favorite mineral?
I like geology.
Okay. Do you really?
I took it in college when I had to choose a science.
All right. Let me do something then. Do you know a woman named Kayla Iacovino?
I do not.
Okay. Kayla Iacovino is a huge Star Trek nerd. She is actually on a couple of Star Trek podcasts, but she is also, hang on to your hat, a volcanologist. She studies volcanoes. She's currently working, cool. I believe, for NASA. I want to say she started working for NASA about a year ago. I cannot remember what her handle is on Twitter, but I'll see if I can find it. But what's great about her is if you're a Star Trek nerd, she's fantastic to follow for that. But then she will also just do like this random, mineralogy, geology stuff. She's like a big deal in those circles, which is kind of weird because I know her as like another Star Trek nerd, but she got to go live in North Korea. Oh, you heard me, North Korea, for I want to say like a month and study a volcano that almost nobody gets to study because did I mention North Korea? Yeah,
That's cool.
So look for her, Kaylee Iacovino, wherever you get podcasts. I'm going to spin the wheel again. Are you ready?
Titanium, by the way.
Titanium is your favorite mineral, really?
Yeah, I just like the word. Plus, it was one of the best Macs ever made. So.
Oh, okay. There you go. I like adamantium, which I'm pretty sure is real. Either that or unobtainium.
Wonderflonium.
Wonderflonium is good. That's nice. I like that a lot. This is a question that came up last week, but I don't think you've ever answered it for us. Name a hero from fiction. Not a real life hero, because, nuts to them. We've all heard about George Washington. We all know about George Washington Carver. We've all heard about, that guy that saved that kid from that thing. If we turn, though, to comic books, movies, TV shows, stuff like that, what is a heroic hero from fiction that does it for you?
Batman?
Okay. Now, really? Or are you just trying to name a hero now?
No, I had a thing. Okay, so Batman comes to mind because, I am of a certain era. Mm-hmm. And if we're talking superhero movies, that was really the first big one from my era, and I got very into it.
So you're talking about the Tim Burton, I'm
talking about Tim Burton, Michael Keaton, Batman. Yeah,
1989.
Batman.
I think that happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was a swimmer, and so we would shave our heads, and I literally had a bat symbol shaved on my head. I was very into it at the time. Very different kind of Batman, not quite as dark as what we have now. Still dark, but not as dark.
See, that's interesting.
The
because
Michael Keaton form.
It's interesting, though, because he also is the Batman who literally straight up said to the Joker, I'm going to kill you.
True. Which
is weird because you're right. The Christian Bale Batman is definitely a darker seeming character. And yet the Christian Bale Batman wouldn't kill anybody on purpose. Kind of like the Batman from the comic books in a way. Right. Now, here's a question, harkening back to what we talked about earlier this week with the black hole. Have you gone back and watched any of those movies in the past
I have
5 to 10 years? Really? And do they still do it for you?
Yeah, I still really very much enjoy it. Well, only the first one. I
really
didn't subject myself to, Danny DeVito's Penguin or anything like that.
See, that's so weird because I would totally skip the first one, but I love the second one.
Do you? I might have to go back and watch it. Maybe I'm not giving it credit. Maybe I'll like it more now.
I don't know.
They got to this point where they kept trying to cram more and more
it got
characters
stupid
into it.
Yeah, after the second one, it got stupid. I can take half of the one with Val Kilmer, but only about half of it.
Yeah, and then they add Robin, and man, it just gets really bonkers.
Yeah, I agree. All right, but Batman, interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I like Batman.
Adam gets one more spin in a moment, but first a word from Remote HQ, letting you collaborate as if you are in the same room with the people you're collaborating with. Here's some of the stuff that Remote HQ gives you. Note-taking, a whiteboard, access to apps you're already using like Dropbox and Miro and Google Docs and others. Oh, that's great, but you've already got all that stuff. What Remote HQ really gives you is a place to work together. You can set the app so that you're the only one that controls them, but the real trick is leaving them open, so your teammates can add notes, take you to a website they want you to see, add to the stuff that you have put on the whiteboard, as if you're in the same room. All this with no downloads, no installations. Meeting participants don't even have to sign up. They just click the link you send. Like you pulled them into a meeting, not had to get them a badge. Go to remotehq.com/partnerships/minutes for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the code MINUTES for 3 months free. Give Remote HQ a try. Go to remotehq.com/partnerships/minutes for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the code MINUTES for 3 months free. We got one more spin of the wheel, sir. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna spin the hell out of this one. I'm gonna try to anyway. All right, hold on. Yeah, there you go.
No whammies.
Big money, no whammy. Stop. Oh, whammy. How did that get there? Okay, not really. Oh, see. All right. I love this app. But something seems to happen where it suddenly says, well, he liked that last time. Let's do it again.
I thought that was the category. I thought you were going to ask me what app I love.
Oh, no. Oh, that's a good one. I kind of want to do that because I'm annoyed that Hero from Fiction came up last week. And what actually came up on the wheel this time came up last week as well. But why don't we do yours instead? I like that. I'm gonna pull an audible. I love this app. What app are you in love with right now?
Oh man.
Okay, no fair because you called it.
I know. So many good ones.
Oh, okay, that's better.
So many good ones. I don't know if it's the thing that I'm in love with now, but like one that's absolutely critical to what I do that I absolutely love and have loved for forever is, I think I mentioned it earlier in the week, Omni Outliner. Which is just an amazing app for doing outlines and organizing notes and thoughts and ideas. And what I absolutely love about it is how seamlessly I can work between my platforms with it. So between my Mac and my iPad, it's all synced up through iCloud. So literally, the place I enjoy sort of prepping the show and doing my show notes and things like that, like I said, is my big comfy chair in the living room. So I can have my iPad there with split screen, and I have Omni Outliner on one side, and I have my RSS reader on the other side, and I can take notes seamlessly between the two. And then when I'm ready to sit down and record the show, I just pop onto my computer. All my notes are there. So that is absolutely amazing. I'll bring up a new one. Like if you want the newest one that I'm kind of really excited about. Okay. I did a episode of the MacCast last week with Ara Derderian from the HDTV podcast on HomeKit and Homebridge. So, doing home automation and stuff like that. And one of the issues that both of us brought up as having had is when you use HomeKit devices, there's these codes, right? These either code numbers or QR codes that are on every one of the products. And if you ever need to reset things up, you need those codes or you need those numbers. And they're sometimes printed on the product, sometimes not. They're hard to find, hard to get to, easy to lose. A listener told me about this app called HomePass that lets you, it's an iOS app, and it basically lets you create a simple catalog with like all of that information, and you can import it and export it. This was another thing we were talking about is like, why doesn't Apple just let the Home app like export all of these? And then if you ever need to reset something up, you can just re-import it. This can't do that in the Home app, but it can import and export all of your stuff. So it keeps track of all like your HomeKit devices, which is like really cool and something that a lot of people really, really need.
And you said that's called Home Pass?
Home Pass. Yeah, I think it's like $3, $2.99, something like that.
I do feel like we would be disrespecting the wheel if we didn't go ahead and ask the question that did come up. Okay. One film to see. There's one movie that everybody needs to see. Just one. But it's one movie that everybody needs to see. See, I feel like you might have done this, though, because we did a similar... You actually said Star Wars when you were stuck on an island and you only had one movie you could ever watch again.
Oh, this is great. I've seen some great movies recently that I feel like are movies, but you want like the one movie, like the only movie? Like that's kind of tough for me, but I can give you a movie that everybody should see. Well, yeah, a movie that everybody should see. It doesn't have to be the only movie they can ever watch again. We've established that with Star Wars. But if there is a movie... Okay, I'm going to go, because I just saw this recently, and I actually have now watched it twice, because I shared it with my daughter after I rewatched it. It's on Disney+, Mr. Holland's Opus. Interesting. Okay. I'm familiar with this. Richard Dreyfuss. Yes.
He has a son named Cole. I won't say anything about the son named Cole, except that there's something particularly difficult for Mr. Holland there. All right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Holland's Opus, and available now on Disney Plus, you're saying?
Yep.
All right. Well, I think you gave us like 5 answers to the 3 questions, but hey, man, that's what happens. Adam Christianson, thank you very much for joining us again this week, and thank you very much for spinning the wheel of stuff.